Good evening, everyone, and welcome to This Week from Rockdale. And as usual, I am your host, Larry Cox, and I am glad to be back down in Georgia today. I was up in West Virginia over the weekend, had some family business to take care of, and I'm back now, and it's good to be back. So let me say hi to some folks here in the chat today. We have Clayton Norwood. Hey, Clayton, how you doing today? Hope you're busy out there campaigning, Clayton, and rustling up some votes. Cheryl Moulton, how are you doing today? Cheryl, Lisa Lancaster, Tina Hobbs, Marie Withers, Catherine Lynn, Charlotte Gillert, uh, Gloria English, William Campbell, Stacy Gaddis. Nice to have you guys here today. So, hey, let's talk about what we need to do now. We got a lot of people in Rockdale County who are misinformed. And we've talked about this being misinformed. And who are they misinformed by? They are misinformed by the Rockdale County government. So, what I would like for you to do is share and like this show so that we can help the people of Rockdale County actually know what's going on in Rockdale County so they can get information and not misinformation. So, if you would like and share this show, then we can help the citizens of Rockdale County stay informed of what's going on in Rockdale County so they can better make decisions when they go to the polls and they know what's really going on in this county. Hey, good evening, Dan Burks. Nice to have you join us today. So, guys, we all know early voting is going on. So, again, share and like the show because what I'm about to say is we want everybody to know about this. We want everybody in earshot to know about this next thing that I'm going to talk about early voting and the petition. Uh, Dan wrote in to me for Commissioner Post 2. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. And, I usually write people in for things too. And I might have told everybody I couldn't help myself. But my dog, Molly Lou Cox, got her a nod for Secretary of State this year. I think she would be an excellent Secretary of State. You all know I wrote, and a bunch of you did too. Tucker Cox, as I know, got 18 votes this past year for the state court judge for the Richard Reeves position. So my dogs are faring well in Rockdale County politics. So let's just keep that going. Right, Molly Lou and Tucker Cox. Way to go. Corliss Turner, thanks for coming, being here tonight. Corliss, I'm getting ready to talk about early voting and what's going on over there at early voting. So I'm glad you tuned in. So, I've been gone the last few days, so I reached out to Corliss and asked Corliss, how many pages have we done, Corliss, since I've been gone? And they've done 20 pages. And that, they have really been hitting it over there. So I'm going to do a great big shout out to Voices for Rockdale because they have been doing a fantastic job on getting those votes, getting those signatures for the House Bill 1102, which will increase your homestead exemption tax percent that your host tax credit that you get as citizens of Rockdale County. Daniel Munez has joined us. Good evening, Dale. Gail Owens has joined us, and Laura Skelton. Thanks for joining us, everybody. So, for my best calculations of everything that Voices for Rockdale has got and what the Rockdale voter has got, we are pushing close to 1,000 signatures right now, people. So we are pushing close to 1,000 signatures. And that is right at 20% of the signatures needed to put this over the top and put it on the ballot. And that's just in a week of collecting signatures. So thanks to the Voices for Rockdale for getting out there and doing everything that they're doing. And, guys, citizens of Rockdale County, we are actually working together to make this happen. This is a nonpartisan effort. This is a citizen effort. These are citizens caring about citizens. And that's what that's what political issues should be about. It should be citizens caring about citizens and making sure that we're all okay. And and that's the kind of things that the Voices for Rockdale and the Rockdale Voter do. They look out for the good of all citizens. And with the work that these organizations are doing, and that includes George Kelitek's Eye of the Taxpayer and the Haynes Water Creek Foundation. So, with these nonpartisan, nonprofit organizations that are working for you, the citizens of Rockdale County, we are going to get things done in this county, and we're going to make a difference because that's what we have to do. That's what has to happen. We have to make a difference and make things happen moving forward, so that as citizens of Rockdale County, we make sure that everything that we do benefits each and every one of us in a positive manner. And that's what all these groups are about. And I applaud each and every one of them for the things that they do to help the citizens of Rockdale County and to advance Rockdale County's growth in a positive motion moving forward. So with that being said, early voting, guys, if you get out there and vote, I encourage everybody to vote, do your civic duty, get out there and cast your ballot. And while you're there, look over toward the West Avenue, you'll see Voices for Rockdale with their table set up there. Get over there and sign that signature. Put that signature on that petition so that we can get this on the ballot next year, and you can recognize tax relief because you're going to give yourself a tax break. You, the citizen, are going to give yourself a tax break, and you can't go wrong with that, and you just can't just applaud the citizens of Rockdale County enough for the fight that they're in right now to salvage and save their homes and property. So again, thanks to Voices for Rockdale, and thanks to all these groups for getting out there and doing these things. And you know what? We are just in it to win it. We are in it to win it, and that's fantastic for everyone. So a few weeks ago, was it a couple of weeks ago? I think they presented on the 17th or so. They presented the budget, and it was like $93.98 million. When we think back to 2016, when this administration took office, our annual budget in the county was around $56 million. So we've gone from $56 million to right at $94 million, which is right at $38 million increase. That is out of control. So, we're talking over 60% increase in the budget. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have got a 25 or 30% increase in your salaries since 2016? How many of you have got 50% increase in your salaries over from 16 till now? And the answer is virtually nobody has got that kind of increase in their salaries, but yet this Board of Commission has increased your tax burden by that much. That is totally out of control, and it is ridiculous. You know what? You can't make this stuff up. I'm going to put this up here right now for Cheryl, and this is true, that, you would not believe how many people are disappointed in our illustrious leaders. People are disappointed in our leaders, but the sad fact is they keep voting for these characters. They keep voting and putting these individuals back in office to make these really bad decisions. Some of these guys are going to be at the town hall this coming Tuesday, and I was going to talk about the town hall, but let me go ahead and fast forward to the town hall. You can come to the town hall. I know the chairman's going to be there this coming Tuesday. I think 6:30 p.m. over at the JP Carr Rec Center. So you'll come to the JP Carr Center. and you come and you can actually ask, you fill out a form and ask the chairman, why taxes increased. During that hearing on the 17th, both commissioners in Washington and Williams both made these ridiculous statements, that the taxes and the revenue and the expenditures are both going up. Well, yes, you dingbats. We know the revenue is going up because you increased the taxes. We know that your revenue is increasing because you are the three idiots that have increased the taxes on the citizens of Rockdale County, and that is your revenue. Increased taxes is the increased revenue. And then when you got your increased revenue, then you spent it quicker than you got it. That's the reality of what we're living in. You guys just take from the citizens. Lisa put something up here I find very interesting. So my monthly salary went down 25%. My monthly salary went down, and my monthly expenses have increased 40%. That doesn't take too long to figure out. So Lisa income had went down over that time period and not went up, but her expenditures did go up. So in the county's intake, their revenue has continued to increase over the last 6 years because the three individuals who sit on that board of commission continually increase your taxes. They increase their spending power by increasing your taxes. But not only that, they borrow, beg, and steal money. Did I say steal? They borrow, beg, and somehow come up with money any way they can. So, borrow, beg, and somehow come up with. So they do that any way they can to increase county spending and to increase that budget. Guys, this is out of control. They want to compare Rockdale County to, metropolitan counties in this area, because we're part of the metro area. But you can't really compare Rockdale County with a Cobb County, with a Gwinnett County, with a DeKalb County, with a Fulton County, because Rockdale County is not like those counties. The least of the population in any of those counties I just mentioned is 5,600,000 people, with some of them well over 1 million people in population. Guys, the Atlanta metro area has a population consisting of 6 million people of the Atlanta metro counties. Rockdale County has 94,000 people of those 6 million. Rockdale County, let me repeat that. Rockdale County has 94,000 of the 6 million residents that are considered metro Atlanta residents. You tell me how Rockdale County is apple to apples with these counties in this metro area. We are not. So when you're talking about building a courthouse in Rockdale County, you can't compare building a courthouse in Fulton County, DeKalb County, Cobb County, Gwinnett County. The comparison is not there. That comparison is not there. So guys, we've got to look at it this way. Rockdale County may be considered a metropolitan county, but we in no way measure up or compare, and it's not apples to apples. So this Board of Commission, when the chairman makes that comment, it's not Mayberry anymore. Well, yes, it is Mayberry. We got 94,000 people, second smallest landmass county in the state. You've got counties with much less population than Rockdale County that have 6, 7, and 8 commissioners. You've got counties in Rockdale, in Georgia, that have 40, 50,000 population, have 6 and 7 commissioners. Rockdale County is underrepresented for the amount of citizens that we have. Rockdale County has close to 94,000, 93,000 ex people. we should have 5 commissioners represented by districts. And I think if we would have 5 people representing this county by districts, then a lot of the nonsense that goes on here would not go on here. And the chairman and them will say, well, if somebody represents a district, then they may hold something up because their district doesn't benefit from it, or their district won't get punished by the county. Let's just take, for example, the housing project that D.R. Horton wants to introduce into South Rockdale, which will change the landscape of South Rockdale forever, and the pleasant, homey atmosphere of South Rockdale would be no more if you would put this giant housing development nestled up around Honey Creek. Guys, this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. If you have representation by district, then a commissioner that would live in South Rockdale County would go to that commission meeting and say, over my dead body, will you do this stuff to my citizens, the people that I represent? Because this is not fair. It's not what the people of South Rockdale want. Now, it may be what 3 people want right now, because just imagine if you build those 620 homes and you get tax revenue for them, and then you know what? Then that means revenue increases and their expenditure will increase even more. The only thing that these 3 individuals are looking at are ways to increase revenue, to increase expenditures. That's what they're looking at, guys. And as citizens, I've had enough of this nonsense, enough of this wasteful spending, enough of this ridiculous type spending that this Board of Commission does. It's time for change in Rockdale County. It's time that Rockdale County citizens stand up for themselves and say, enough is enough. One of the ways that we can do that is this host exemption that we're fighting for right now. This 100% exemption that we want. And if we get those signatures, we put it on the ballot, it sends a message to Rockdale County elected officials. This is what the citizens want. And never mind, you had Doreen Williams saying, well, where are we going to get that money? We got to have that money. Well, you know what? Why don't you cut the budget? Why don't you have all these departments cut the budget 10%? Then you have the commission go and cut it another 10%. Then we do zero-based budgeting. We build that budget back every year from zero, and we don't have to have the same things over and over again. And then let's talk about SPLOST money. Let's spend the SPLOST money wiser. Let's not spend it, a lot of it in the crash them up demolition derby that our sheriff's department does with these police cars. Let's not replace these cars as much as we do. Let's not have replacement police vehicles in the SPLOST budget every single year. Let's reduce the amount. Let's make their cars last longer. Remember, second smallest landmass county in the state of Georgia. We should get more bang for our bucks out of our vehicles. We shouldn't be putting as many miles on them. There would be ways we can, and I've talked to policing professionals that have said if we put our zones in different ways and we patrol differently, then we can save money through fuel and the way we do policing. So I would say that this is we need to get in tune with this. We need to become more efficient all the way around, and we need to spend our money better. 2017, DeKalb County changed their SPLOST to an eSPLOST. This is what their politicians said at that time. They said, our SPLOST needs to go, our host needs to go to where it was intended to. It was intended to give property owners property tax relief. So by giving them property tax relief, they said, we already have a revenue source for capital expenditure. It's called the SPLOST. They themselves admitted by taking X portion of the host, they were double dipping. They were double dipping. And that's what the Rockdale County Commission is doing right now. They are double dipping by taking a large portion, by taking a quarter of the host revenue for supposed capital expenditure. What we need to do is that 0.25% needs to go back to the citizens of Rockdale County for property tax relief. We also need to do Bill Campbell, 100%. I agree with that. Bill hasn't seen a patrol car in his neighborhood in years. And there is true is, guys, we don't, but we buy a lot of expensive SUVs for people who don't patrol and work in the executive offices over there at the sheriff's department. That needs to stop. They need to stop. Anyone who works in the office does not need to take a vehicle home. Only patrol officers. And I think they only need to extend that to patrol officers who live in Rockdale County. I think this taking cars out of Rockdale County has got to stop. The citizens of Rockdale County pay enough taxes. We spend enough money on enough things that we do not need to spend additional monies on these type of things. I encourage you to come out to this town hall this Tuesday. Flood that room and make sure your questions are answered. You will have state representatives there. You will have county representatives there. You will have federal representatives there. And then you will have nobodies there. You'll have me. I will be there. So you can even throw a bone and ask me a question, and I will be glad to answer that question. So guys, we need to do everything that we can to reset Rockdale, because Rockdale can be saved. Rockdale's not something that needs to be thrown away and tossed in the garbage. Rockdale County is a great community and can be even greater. Rockdale County was a great place to raise a family at one time. Currently, it's not. Let's be honest about that. Rockdale County at one time was a place that young families thrived to come to put their children in this school system, because the educational system was bar none one of the finest in the state of Georgia. But now it's not. It's a cellar dweller educational system. We're at the bottom levels. But we can change those things. How do you change those things? You change those things by changing elected officials and getting them to change the superintendent. 60% of voters this past primary said that the Rockdale County Board of Education should not rehire Terry Oates. Remember that. You, the voters, said that. Terry Oates should not be rehired as the superintendent of Rockdale County Schools. You, the voters of Rockdale County, said that a courthouse should not be built in Old Town Conyers. But yet, this Board of Commission is building a courthouse in Old Town Conyers. And this is what you, the voters of Rockdale County, said. You, the voters of Rockdale County in 2018, by 70%, voted down a courthouse in Rockdale County, in Old Town Conyers, by rejecting the $140 million bond. Yet this county commission has bypassed you, the citizens of Rockdale County, went around you, and had the state legislature create a public facilities authority to bypass you, so you can't vote on these bonds, so they can issue them behind your back and build that courthouse where they want to instead of where they should, and instead of using the funding source that they should. Rockdale County citizens, you can make a difference. Your voice can be heard. Over the next year, you will be given many opportunities for your voice to be heard. And I encourage you to exercise each and every opportunity you get to let your voice be heard. Because Rockdale County, it's time to reset Rockdale. It's time for Rockdale County to go in the direction that the citizens want Rockdale County to go in, not the direction that 3 delusional individuals want Rockdale County to go in. And those are strong words. You know, and I'm going to probably be sitting beside one of those individuals coming Tuesday night. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. I won't take back anything I've said. I don't agree with how those three individuals run government or how they lead this county forward or how they drag this county. They're not leading this county anywhere. They are dragging this county through the mud, through the doo-doo. They are dragging this county through the doo-doo. That's what this commission is doing. They're dragging you through the crap. But I'm going to tell you what. Together, we can make a difference. We can change the trajectory of Rockdale County through our voices and through our votes. You're going to start getting those opportunities. One of the first opportunities you've got, like I say, is this petition and that vote next year about the host. This county will fight that fiercely. They will fight that fiercely next year. When that's on the ballot, they will fight it fiercely. And as citizens of Rockdale County, you need to stand up with dignity and be brave and say, enough is enough. It's time for the Rockdale County citizens to reset Rockdale. I'm going to keep this show short tonight because I'm a little tired from my travels. But it should be an interesting show Wednesday after my coming from the town hall. And I'm looking forward to that town hall. I'm looking forward to sharing my ideas and my vision for Rockdale County. And I hope to see each and every one of you there. So good night. And I hope to see you Tuesday night at the town hall. And then we will all chat again Wednesday night on the Midweek Report with your host, Larry Cox. Thank you and good night.